This is an open letter to the Sane Society. I think this is my second video about this matter, and I think I found the answer. If I don't sound too arrogant, I think I found the answer to why democracy doesn't work in the way you guys are in the way you guys are practicing it. And I went over some of it in the previous video. I'm going to I want to finish my thought in this video that it seems democracy will never work in the way you practice it because you're attracting boys to the game for the simple reason that it's a contest. The winner of a contest is chosen as representative, senator, or president. And this winner of the contest business, that's why again that's why I feel the judiciary, the people in the judiciary, they are much more level-headed, as if there wasn't a contest that they won. They were chosen from a bunch of people. They were chosen for, because they've had less baggage or, better resume, but not a contest as such, a vote grabbing contest, a physical contest, a dick measuring contest. They haven't won any of that. So more, they come out the the nine justices come out a little more level-headed. But the rest of the legislature and the executive branch, that the, the heads come out in a contest, you have to see that old men are not attracted to contests. Men who have been in the trenches are not really attracted to contests. They're they're attracted to doing the job without breaking anything and going home. They understand the value of keeping it together because they have seen bad shit in their life. These people are the people who make good leaders, but unfortunately the democratic system is not an inviting this democratic contest, this contest that the winner of the contest becomes the representative or the senator or the president. This contest by itself, it attracts boys, not men. Irresponsible people, not responsible people. Why? Because boys love contests, not men. Men want to do the job and go home. Boys want to win a contest, win the penis measuring contest. Any contest, doesn't matter. And the first brick in this wall that you lay called democracy, the first brick is cricket. That the winner of a contest, you see, and then I went over this in the last video also, I went over this, that you have to be very arrogant and ignorant to think lightly of such a responsibility, to see yourself worthy of participating in a contest and showing the size of your penis, so hopefully you can win the contest and get the big seat. Men are not attracted to this. Men are, they don't want to win any contest. They just want to do their job. They want to do their job as best they can perform and go home. They don't want to break anything. They don't want to show their penis. They don't want to, for heaven's sakes, just recently in the last election, literally on the podium, they started talking about the size of each other's penis. Are you fucking kidding me? Who does that? Again, let's go back. Who does that? Boys. Men are not really interested in, measuring their penis or anybody else's penis. But boys, they have something to prove. They need to prove that I am better. So they literally on the podium, there are a bunch of boys who are who are many of whom are not qualified, frankly, because they know very little. Personally, they know very little. They have assistants, and this assistant comes and says that lobbyist said you have to sign this, and this assistant comes and says this lobbyist said you have to sign that. And he does both, and the lobbyists pay, and he gets reelected, and he becomes, it continues. But so, boys who know very little, therefore they are very ignorant, they know very little, and because of their ignorance, they become arrogant. At the end of your elections, you you have you are the uh, proud you have a you're the proud owners of a senator, newly minted senator or representative or a president who was so arrogant and ignorant, which causes arrogance, that he thought he's worthy, he has enough in his noggin to is worthy to take on this responsibility, and at the same time think about a lot of other things like Clinton, you know pussy, and Bush, this and that and the other. The result of your election, this is the wrong way to go. The correct way, in my view, is, I could be wrong, again, I've been wrong often, but the correct way is probably the way that you have to find men, not boys. And men, usually those who understand the weight of that responsibility, try to stay away from it. So you have to push the mantle of responsibility of leading a tribe, a nation, onto worthy men. You have to push it because whoever understands the weight of this doesn't want it. You don't get this? If you if you participate in a competition to win the job of leading people, you're not worthy of that competition. You're stupid. You're not worthy of that job. You're stupid, because whoever wants to participate in a competition to win such a big responsibility, that's a boy. That's an ignorant, arrogant boy. Oh, it's not that difficult to understand. Whoever takes that job so lightly, takes that responsibility so lightly, that actually is willing to participate in a three-ring circus called an election, that's not a man, that's a boy. He's got something to prove. And there go Adolf Hitler. There go, this Milinsky. He's just nonchalant about this, like, at least 500,000 young Ukrainians have died, and millions have left Ukraine. And he's like, yeah, we fight. We will win. What the fuck are you talking? What have you won? I mean, living peacefully with Russia, even if Russia has to dictate some procedures, and telling you, at least, you cannot join the other gang. At least you have to remain neutral because we are neighbors. That's pretty reasonable. That's what the men say. Men want to be peaceful, so they tell their neighbors that, hey, please stop this bullshit. Neighbors, if they see something, one of the neighbors doing something really, unnecessary, irresponsible, they just say, hey, you know what, dude, come on down, you know, take it easy, because they don't want to break it. Nobody wants, responsible people don't want to break anything that's not broken, because they know putting it back together is a difficult. It takes a lot more putting it back together than breaking it, and men understand that because they have had many things break in their life. Boys don't, and the result of your election is just a result of a contest which somebody won, proved that he has a bigger penis. Is he qualified for the job? In my view, none of the recent presidents of, let's start, you went over Uncle Sam. Look at France. Look at England. Boris Johnson. He's had like a kid with one kid. He has had like 3 kids with 3 different women. He's known for not being able to keep his dick in his pants, not feeling the responsibility of the office, of the people, of the world that is in his hand, not feeling that responsibility, not feeling that weight, to such an extent that most of his brain is following the pussy. It's sort of, I don't care how heavy this is, I want the pussy. Where is that pussy going? Are you fucking kidding me? And this is the top leader of that shithole England? Fuck. Nuclear power, England. Mr. Macron recently came on TV and said, I read the translation, it's sort of like, yeah, in a very nonchalant manner, yeah, we did our talking and the talks didn't come to much, so we may have to participate in a war with Russia. We may have to participate in a war with Russia. This is March of 2024. And you're thinking to yourself, I know this motherfucker has never been in the trenches. I know this motherfucker has never, had anything blown. He hasn't seen his comrade blown to pieces. He hasn't seen his child die of cancer. He hasn't been in the trenches. Mr. Macron is a boy who hasn't been in the trenches. So he says, yeah, first him and the rest of these boys in the European Union and Uncle Sam's managers, they decided to deceive Putin. You don't want Putin to take over Crimea? Fine. Make sure that you understand, that everybody understand that piece of paper is signed that Ukraine remains neutral. Russia didn't have any problem with Ukraine being neutral. If Ukraine stays neutral, yeah, they can have Crimea. But the point is, you interfered so Ukraine wouldn't be neutral. Apparently, the whole State Department and CIA have been working on Ukraine to turn it friendly towards NATO for many years, decades now. Why? I mean, when is enough enough? This is what I'm saying, that the whole boys, why you can't state that when is enough enough? Because boys are in charge. For boys, nothing is enough. They're always in a contest. Boy mentality is always in a contest. He wants to win. and there is no end to it. Men don't. Men want to keep the peace, do their job, and go back to fucking home without breaking anything. You don't have men in charge. That's your problem. Because in a, in the format that democracy is practiced now on earth, what you call democracy, only boys volunteer for their top jobs, for leadership positions in politics. Only boys. Only boys volunteer for that because they underestimate the weight of it. And they are amused by the contest, by the circus. They volunteer. Not only they volunteer, they spend their own money and they spend other people's money. Yes, come, donate money. I want to win this. We're going to win this. I don't care what they promise. The whole idea that I'm going to win this because I'm so great, that mentality is a boyish mentality. And women's mentality, because also, women like Gucci, they're easily amused by status and social status and economic. Women are easily amused, enticed by social status and economic status and this status and that status. Have you seen? I mean, you don't have groupie men, you have groupie women. And women who are, become aroused by some economical status or social status, so they become groupies of such and such a man. That's how women think. That's how women are. If you have any doubts, Prime Minister of Italy, whatever, Meloni. Have you seen? It's like, when Elon Musk went and met her, and she was all like, almost on her knees, and in love. To put it lightly, she was in love, or she behaved like it. Because they're easily enthused, easily amused, easily, enticed by money, economical status, and social status. You don't want these people as your leaders either. I mean, how wide was the smile on Mrs. Clinton's face when she was given a couple of accolades from a couple of British universities? I mean, you couldn't measure her smile. It was so big. Because, it's very, uplifting for women. Easily amused, easily affected by social and economical status. You don't want them as leaders. You don't want boys as leaders. Folks, the only people you want as leaders are wise men who actually never want to have the job. Those are the guys you actually want as leaders. Those who stay in the back. They don't get in the front of the line to participate in the contest. No, they sit in the back, way back. Because those are the real ones who understand the weight of it. That needs to be a leader in order to prevent a nuclear war, in order to prevent end of life on Earth. That person needs to be a leader. You need to find a guy who's so wise that he's understand the weight of such a responsibility as being a senator or a president or a representative. That guy that is so wise, that understands the weight of that responsibility, therefore tries to stay as far away from it as possible. You pick that guy and you force him to be a leader. That's how you will end up with good decision making. I don't care what the fuck you want to call it. Yes, what I said does it resemble the communist system, the Chinese system right now? I don't want to call it communist. Fucking 99% of the system is capitalist. 1% of it is carrying the name CCCP, or Chinese Communist Party. If 99% of it is capitalist, then 1%, Whatever they want to call themselves, that's a minority. 99% is functioning based on capitalism. What part of it is communist? Which one is communist? The leadership are a group of intellectuals who actually have been from it, who have actually done physical work in the trenches. Yeah, I think that makes a good system. The Chinese leadership are not saber-rattling, have never ever heard the Chinese leadership saber-rattle or talk big. You know how many times I've heard Mr. Tom Cotton come out and say, yes, we're gonna go kick some ass! How many times have I felt this is the attitude of Mr. Tom Cotton? It's like, yes, we're gonna go kick their ass. Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow is too late. We're going to go kick their ass today. Whose mentality is that? That's a boyish mentality. Can't wait to kick some ass. That's a boyish mentality. Mentality that loves contests. Can't get enough contest. Any kind of contest. Peace doesn't come with that. You don't find peace in a boxing ring. You just don't. Men who feel the weight of responsibility of top political jobs, leading large numbers of people, try to stay away from it. You will kind of have to enforce responsibility on them. People who understand it try to stay away from it. It's not that difficult to understand. Salute.